Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate broker associate Marvin Beninson of the Beninson Associates at Keller Williams Realty based out of Ridgefield, Connecticut. Marvin formed a team with his wife Laura to offer buyers and sellers the very best in consultative style of real estate in Greater Danbury and Western Connecticut. They are the 55-plus community specialists for Western and Central Connecticut, receiving over 300 referrals each year specifically for the 55-plus communities in Connecticut. These are in addition to serving the needs of buyers and sellers that they have been privileged to represent during their real estate career. They offer more than 30 years of real estate experience and have received the RE/MAX 100% award multiple years in a row, and more recently were chosen multiple years in a row to serve on the Agent Leadership Council for Keller Williams Realty. They have previously owned the RE/MAX franchise in Brookfield and have worked as a team at Keller Williams Realty since 2008. All right, with all that said, Marvin, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
And Marvin, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Well, we kind of stumbled into it. We were buying our first home, and it wasn't going very well. The realtor wasn't really doing a great job for us, and I decided to read up on real estate, see how it was supposed to be done, and decided that I could probably do better. So I subsequently was laid off from my accounting job and started taking the real estate course at night. As soon as we got laid off, my wife and I opened a furniture and cabinet refinishing business right away, but as soon as the course was done, I jumped right into real estate full time.
And can you talk a little bit about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
Yeah, I think perseverance, the golden rule, has always been important, empathy, and we've always had excellent negotiating skills. We've always believed in win-win. We've taken lots and lots of training. We've furthered our real estate education. And we've been able to do that because Keller Williams is recognized as the industry leader in real estate training. And we continuously take Keller Williams courses in order to stay ahead of the market and the innovations that are constantly reshaping the real estate industry.
And do you think you can give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Yeah, perseverance, I can think of right off the bat. That's allowed us to thrive through good markets and bad. The golden rule has helped us in every transaction with every buyer and seller. And in the training, the Keller Williams training has led us to where we are now considered the experts in Western and Central Connecticut for the 55-plus communities. We actually receive over 300 leads a year specific for these 55-plus communities. And we currently represent 15 of these communities in Connecticut for a national company called 55places.com.
And Marvin, I think whenever somebody builds a successful business or a career, that sometimes the path to get there is filled with bumps in the road along the way. Can you talk about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Sure. Well, we started out with a small mom and pop office that was really like working with family. But unfortunately, we quickly outgrew it. But I can tell you that leaving was one of the hardest things we ever had to do. It was, like I said, like leaving family, but we really needed to leave in order to continue to grow. So that was probably the biggest challenge we've ever had, was leaving an almost family office.
And Marvin, I guess as these challenges or these obstacles come up for you, what keeps you going? Why don't you give up? What's your driving force?
Well, what we discovered pretty early on was that being in real estate allowed us to have a very flexible schedule. And we had 2 daughters. So basically, when I was an accountant, I had I had a regular schedule that I had to work. And then certain times of the year, I had to work almost 24/7. So when we got into real estate, we quickly realized that it could be so flexible. So I was able to be, since a room mother in grammar school with one of my daughters, I was able to go on ski trips, take them on school ski trips as a sponsor or monitor. And so basically, the fact that we could fit in our family schedule with our work schedule really made it, very hard to go back to a 9 to 5.
And I guess, Marvin, kind of looking forward, what's your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
We really are, as I said, we're getting an awful lot of business and leads for 55-plus communities, and we feel that that's where the market is going to be with the baby boomers retiring more and more every year. As I said previously, we're getting over 300 leads a year for those communities, and what we're focusing on now are the listing side. So we're getting all of these leads, and what we're finding out is we don't always have enough listings in some of these communities. So we're right now putting a big push to take listings in some of these 15 communities in Connecticut, and that should really double our business.
And I guess kind of on top of that, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so you guys can have that continual growth in that community?
The internet is really the best way to market ourselves, and being with Keller Williams has really been great for us because when you join Keller Williams, they give a website to every single agent, and they have a national MLS that gives maximum exposure for our properties and for the agents across the United States, in addition, of course, to the MLSs that we belong to locally. So the internet is really the place to be.
And Marvin, I think whenever the general public looks at real estate agents, sometimes I don't think they understand the value they provide from both the buyer and a seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
I think the biggest misconception that the public has about working with a realtor is that it's an exact science. And part of that is because of the way that agents were trained years ago. And even now, we run up against old school agents who use the tell and sell method to advise sellers and buyers as to the value of properties. What we use is a consultative approach, so we provide enough information and guidance so that the client actually makes the best decision, or the best decision that's right for them.
And Marvin, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state and they want to sell their home. Now, obviously, with your experience and being part of Keller Williams, you could easily look up an agent and do a referral. But from a general advice standpoint, what advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
Well, if it's a friend or relative that we know, we would definitely go through the Keller Williams family because we're the best trained agents in the industry, and many times when I'm selling a property, they're moving to a different area of the country. So I'm calling and using the Keller Williams, call it a white pages, directory of agents all the time. And, but we take it a step further. We look at their background. We'll call and speak to them on the phone before we ever refer them to our client or relative. So we make sure that we choose the proper agent. So far, it's been great for our buyers that are relocating, and it's been great for us.
Now, obviously, you're based out of Ridgefield, Connecticut, and you handle the 55-plus community for Western and Central Connecticut. And if somebody's in that area or looking to move to that area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
Well, there's a couple of ways. The first way, of course, is always to call us direct or text us. What we're finding now is that depending on the age of the client, they either want to text or email or just go on and visit our website. Many people are finding us on the internet, as I said. So in any case, they could call us at 203-733-0147. They could email us at Marvin B, and that's like Marvin B as in boy, at KW, like KellerWilliams.com. Or they can visit our website, which is www.homesinGreaterDanbury.com.
Excellent. Well, Marvin, obviously want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Marvin, obviously you can give him a call. You can go to his website. Actually, below this interview, we'll have a link to his site and any other contact information we have so you can see how he can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.